Well, Tyler, Washburn coming up this week. You've looked some film. What challenges are they going to offer you guys, especially from their defense?
Their defense, their corners are very talented, very fast. Not as physical as maybe last week, but they're probably the fastest group that we'll see all year.
What does it boil down to for you guys this week?
We got to win on third down. We got to take care of the ball, and we got to win on third down. I think 3 of 16, I think, is what I heard. That's just not getting it done. Doesn't matter how many. If the defense gives up 60 points, going 3 for 16 on third down is just not acceptable.
Tyler, what do you like the most about the way you guys have been able to execute offensively the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks? It looks like you and Braxton and a couple of the other receivers are finally really getting into good sync.
Yeah, we're finally just living up to the expectations on the outside. Landon's been running the ball great all year long, and Braxton's been playing great all year long. It's just really doing what's expected of us.
How important is a rivalry game like this?
It's important. Winning another game in the MIAA is very important, and like Coach Higgins said, bragging rights is a little bit of it, but it's another game in the MIAA.
And this is your second Turnpike Tussle, transferring from Hutch. What have you learned about this rivalry over the past 2 years?
Yeah, I've learned how close Topeka and Emporia is. I'm just from Wichita, but I didn't realize it was only 45 minutes. So that's a little. I'm sure it's difficult in the recruiting process, from 45 minutes away.
What about the baseball side of it? You're one of the few people who's done it in 2 different sports.
It was a big deal when we lost to Washburn twice last year in baseball. I learned that is not acceptable. But yeah, even for baseball, it's still another game in the MIAA.
Tyler, what is an Ichabod?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Well, Logan, you guys have Washburn coming up. Offensively, what challenges are they going to give you guys?
They're a pretty physical team. They're going to try to run power a lot and just try to run the ball down our throats, so we have to be physical and stop that.
Logan, just for, what do you guys take from last week? I know that fourth quarter was kind of a struggle for the collective defensive unit. How have you guys been, going about work this week and hoping to take that next step back forward?
We're just trying to work on consistency and finishing the ball game. Fourth quarter was big, and we let the team down last week, and we just need to be more consistent late.
Do you guys feel extra pressure with just 3 guaranteed weeks left to try to make those significant strides in a short amount of time?
Oh, for sure, especially being a senior. I only have 3 games that are guaranteed left, so we're trying to really finish strong and maybe get in the playoffs, maybe a bowl game, something like that, postseason. So.
Being a part of this rivalry, how big is it for you guys to get another one? I believe it's, looking for 4 in a row in the series.
Yeah, I try not to feed too much into the rivalry. To me, I'm just trying to take it day by day, and it's another week of football. Work your hardest every day. So, yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I've never been into rivalries really that much, and just not being from Emporia. I try not to feed into it, and I don't know.
How would you describe the locker room atmosphere before a big rivalry game like this?
Our locker room before games is usually pretty rowdy no matter what, so I guess it would probably be a notch above that. We're probably going to get pretty rowdy before a game, just try to get pumped up. So, yeah.
Your impressions of Washburn?
Well, they're setting at 4-4, very similar to us, where they've had games where they've played really well. Then there's games where they made some mistakes and ended up getting beat. And part of that, of course, is the MIAA, how tough it is. But they're a very good football team, very physical defensively. I think their linebackers are very good football players. They've been there for a long time, got a lot of experience. And then offensively, they're going to do the things that they do well, which is they're going to try to establish the run. But at the same time, they also have some dangerous weapons out there at receiver and are very good in the skill positions as well.
Where do you feel like your ball club has to be better this Saturday?
Well, we just got to be more consistent. It's kind of been kind of the story for us all year, where it's like last week we get up 28-20 and end up giving up 22 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's not being consistent. So, and we got to do better on third down. Last week we were not very good on third down on either side of the football. So that's something that's been something that's hurt us a little bit. We got to get better at. So that's going to be another key.
Do you guys kind of continue to view this week as a must-win type scenario?
I mean, talk about that because we feel like every game we play again is going to be must win for us. Just where we're at. I mean, the thing I've talked about is we got a great group of seniors and guys that have been here, invested a lot of time in this program, committed to the way that we do things here and how our culture is, and you know, I talk about that about, hey, you know, there's a good group here that, you know, we need to make sure that we're ready to play, ready to go, and regardless of who it is, whether it's our rival, you know, 40 minutes up the road or whoever it might be, that's how I look at it. So all the games, you know, are must wins, and our backs are against the wall, but we've had a really good week of practice this week, and I know our guys will be ready to go on Saturday.
Talk about that, you know, rivalry and everything, Turnpike Tussle, all that.
Well, you know, back when I played, of course, that was that was a while back, but that was kind of in that transition period between teams leaving our old conference, which was the CSIC, and teams joining the MIAA. So when I played, I actually just had 2 years of being able to play against Washburn. But I was at the game where the fight broke out on the sidelines. I definitely was in the middle of it. I was back in the back. So I understand the rivalry. I think rivalries are important. I think that's part about what college athletics is all about. You know, I mean, everybody has a rival, whether you're in high school or whatever. There's always that rivalry game. It makes it fun for everybody. And one thing we try to do with our players here is kind of when they get here, because we have players from all over the country. There's some players that don't understand it, but we try to teach them about it as they progress through their years here.
When you look at the rivalry, Garin, you know, each team has 50 wins. I believe, you know, ESU's up 4 games on the series. You know, how important is this game, you know, just to have that bragging rights against Washburn?
Well, I mean, to me, it's important definitely because it's the next game. It's a rivalry game, and we recruit the same players. You know, there's a lot of players on our we're both in-state schools, so recruiting, you know, we have, like I said, recruiting the same type of players, so we can go through and always say that, you know, we beat our rival. That's always kind of a feather in your hat. But besides that, I mean, us and I don't even know. Is it tied 50-50? Is that what you said?
No,
is that what it is? I think we're
it's
up
like
to, aren't we?
We're up more now, we're 56-52.
Okay, 56-52.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, we want to keep that where it's at. I mean, to be quite honest with you, and like I said, I've been here a long time. I went to school here, so I'm an alum here, so I definitely understand what it's about. And you know, there's a lot of fans and you know, people in the community. You know, this game's important.
What do you tell your team in the locker room before a rivalry game like this?
You know what? A lot of times for me, that just kind of comes with that day. I mean, there's nothing that I really prepare or think about. I mean, yeah, I might think about a few things, but you know, again, you know, as far as like, to me, it comes down to what situation we're in. All right, and like I said, this week I've really talked about our seniors, and you know, as of right now, we got 3 weeks left, and of course you got to keep winning and see what happens after that, but. Just the you know, what type of guys they are and what they've done here for this football program, and you're playing against your rival and just going out and playing for those guys. You know, I mean, they want to be able to, you know, their senior year say, hey, they beat Washburn and had a winning season, and that's important, and that's kind of how talk to them about how they want to leave their legacy, and somebody's going to be wearing their jersey when they leave, and how they're going to leave that jersey and what they're going to be remembered for.